Welcome back to SB Nation. It is now week 4 of the college football season. I am 9-6 overall. Forget what you know. I'm still making you that sweet quiche. Let's start at the top. Florida State, Clemson. Lots to like about Florida State so far this season. We don't know a ton about them because of their opponents, but they established a running game last week against Wake Forest and really quashed them on the throat. So at this point, picking this game, it's a matter of do you believe in the Seminoles or not at this point. Clemson got Sammy Watkins back last week. A lot of passes behind the line of scrimmage. And if there's a team in the ACC with a defense fast enough to stop Watkins, it's Florida State. I love Chris Thompson in the backfield for the Noles. I really don't like Clemson's offensive or defensive lines to slow down or block Florida State's defense. So I'm taking the Noles by 17 here. They're going to cover the 14-point spread. Moving on, Kansas State, Oklahoma. The Wildcats move on to Norman after being absolutely shellacked last season in Manhattan, Kansas. But I actually do like the Wildcats here, plus the points on the road. It's a big game in Norman. It's a big game at night for Bob Stoops. I just can't get comfortable picking Oklahoma here. There's all sorts of things to like about Landry Jones considering his performance last year against Kansas State, but without Ryan Broyles, it's been a different team. Expect Kansas State to take advantage of a really experienced, big defensive line with Arthur Brown, the linebacker, behind them to be able to slow down the Sooner attack. I'm going to take the points in Kansas State here. Moving on to the ACC, Georgia Tech has looked very good, especially last week against Virginia. Tevin Washington has been piling up the yards alongside Orwin Smith. I don't like Miami's defense at all. Underwhelming is a very nice term for where they stand at this point. Duke Johnson's very nice on offense for the Canes, but he is not enough to beat Georgia Tech on the road. Look for the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech to win this game going away. I love giving the 14 points. Give me Tech by 20. Moving along, big late Pac-12 matchup between Oregon and Arizona. All sorts of things to like about Oregon's offense and scoring a ton of points. But on that same token, Arizona has actually looked quite good behind Matt Scott, especially through the air. And now that Oregon is without All-American safety John Boyette in center field playing safety, I kind of like Arizona to cover here. If they're not going to win this game and they're not going to stay close, they have enough yardage in them. Dan Buckner's a scary enough receiver for the Wildcats to make this game relatively close at the end, even if it's not for 3.5 quarters. Take the points on the road in Autzen for Arizona. Finally, we'll stay on the left coast. Washington State, Colorado. Colorado's the worst BCS conference team. They may be the worst FBS team. They're not happy about the Buffs at Snarf. Yeah, it's a really good sandwich in Boulder. Don't feel good about the Buffs going to Pullman against a Washington State team that's slowly rounding into its own. Connor Halliday is the probable starter with Jeff Toole still banged up, but he looked quite good against UNLV. And I don't even know if Washington State is good enough to pound a team yet with Mike Leach and the new offense still taking shape. But Colorado is that bad. They are really astronomically bad. John Embry has a lot of work to go. It's not going to happen in Washington State. John Embry has a lot of work left to do for the black and gold. It's not going to happen on the Palouse. Give me Washington State. The spread is 18.5. I like them by 3 touchdowns, 31-10. All right, let me know what you think of the picks. Am I going to do better this week? Am I going to do worse? Who are your locks? Let us know in the comments. We'll see you soon.